you sick of getting pushed around, brother? Are you ready to get buff and knock down and beat down the criminal gangsters and walk through and break through that wall and push around the crypto whales with your guns? Well, join old Vincenzo at Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. Like, subscribe, and share, and stop getting pushed around, you little weakling beefcake.
Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, and we're going to take a quick look at the Bitcoin price and just scrolling through some news headlines. Bitcoin needs to adopt an upgrade similar to Cardano's to survive. Charles Hoskins. Let's see what Charles Hoskins has to say. The White House latest report mentions the executive usage of energy by several industries, including cryptocurrency mining, was brought up by IOG CEO Charles Hoskins. He went on to say that the paper published on the order of President Joe Biden essentially seeks to ban Bitcoin, which is based on proof of work consensus mechanisms due to energy consumption. Cardano's offline must to the rescue ? In the new video update, the Cardano chief said the EPA and the DOE are going to start talking to crypto companies to basically tell them to change the way their cryptocurrency works. In other words, Bitcoin should be banned. However, leveraging the Cardano protocol could help Bitcoin to avoid the regulators and survive as a cryptocurrency for the proof of work, a useful work, POUW protocol, and its main purpose is to minimize the carbon footprint of the proof of work chains such as a Bitcoin. Given the adoption scale of the digital asset space, Hoskins believes carbon scoring of crypto mining by authorities across the world is inevitable. That's why crypto regulations are not bullish. For the most part, they're bearish, just like more regulatory things on mining companies of gold and silver or tech companies are bearish because it's more hurdles and they can essentially ban you if they want. And the thing you need to understand here is governments can and will and do regulate, ban, and remove things all the time, and cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin are no different. Governments could ban Bitcoin tomorrow. People that come on here all over the sphere and say Bitcoin's unregulable and governments can't outlaw it, that's false. They can ban anything they want, right? It is very clear that there are people in the administration and various political parties throughout the world that really do want to start carbon scoring the mining of cryptocurrency, always taking the position that proof of stake is a vastly superior consensus mechanism in many ways, assuming you can address the network design requirements and the security requirements, which is why we spent 7 years of innovation with the Ouroboros and brought it into the market. He even went on to say that the report accurately reflects the massive advantage of proof of stake system in terms of usage. Or White House climate report. The White House official of science and technology is a recent report has stated that the crypto contributions to energy uses and greenhouse gases emissions is significant because they say greenhouse gas emissions, aka carbon dioxide, is a pollutant, which I do not agree with it, and nature does not agree with that statement. The document weighed in on use of blockchain technology to aid in climate protection and suggest ways to reduce or mitigate the environmental impact of digital assets, right? Anything the government wants to regulate or ban, they use boogeymans and pseudoscience and bullshit and propaganda to ban it, right? So the thing they've been using for the last 30 years to take first world countries and turn them into third world countries is by saying carbon that plants need to live, carbon dioxide, is a pollutant, right? But farmers use carbon dioxide to grow bigger plants. The atmosphere, the more carbon dioxide there is in the atmosphere, the better plants grow, right? And in turn, it spits out the flip side of that, oxygen for us, the humans, right? Our oxygen levels are actually very low right now compared to historical contents. When you had the dinosaurs roaming around the planet, one theory now is that the dinosaurs died not because of an asteroid, but because oxygen levels got so low for a big dinosaur and a big mammal like that, it just couldn't survive anymore because it needed more oxygen, right? And if you are unfamiliar with that, you should study that a little bit on how oxygen levels dropping significantly could have been the primary reason that large animals went extinct because they could not live anymore, right? They couldn't breathe. They didn't have enough oxygen. So it's very interesting, but if we take a look at the Bitcoin price, you can see we're still sitting where we were earlier. There's the 4 hour, and then here's the 2 hour. You can see what looks to be happening. Does it have to do what? So you can see we almost hit that underneath target. But what looks to be happening as the volume is going down, the price is struggling to maintain an uptrend. What could be happening is you're about to form a rounding top, and then you come down into the moving averages again, which would be about a 4 or 5% fall. And then if you came down into the moving averages and you held it, you could continue up into something like that, or you would bounce, come back up for a big, beautiful double top, and then start to trade and trickle and weasel your way back to the downside. So what I would watch for now is to hold in the 2 hour time frame or the 3 hour time frame, that 200-day moving average, to remain bullish, and at the very least, worst case scenario, you have to hold the top part of this blue support zone, sort of like you did here, to remain bullish and kick out to the upside, right? So that's what I'm looking at right now in the Bitcoin price. We're in consolidation mode after a 11% pump from yesterday, and we were talking about a possible pump yesterday, right? If we look at the Ethereum price, you can see we've tagged twice now old support or old resistance, and it's tagged it twice on a wick in the 2 hour time frame. You can see those two red candles right there tagging that underneath support at 16.88 and 12 cents. It's holding it right now, and if it can hold it, you can bounce up to this blue ring that's descending from top left to bottom right, just below your major upper resistance at 1902.45, right? So that's what we're watching out for. If you break down, if you break to the downside, your first underneath support would be the moving averages, and then if you couldn't hold the moving averages, you would most likely come down to the 1456 level. The old XRP price, you can see we had a little consolidation earlier, just like we did right there, and then we kicked off to the upside again. We had another little dump off, and now we're getting some strong candles in here. But if we look down at the volume is going down as we're getting this nice pump. So what I would watch is if you don't break that 35.5 cents, it would most likely get rejected and force you down to the moving averages. But if you can get some volume to come back in, you could try to tag this major upper resistance. And that major upper resistance has been a pesky thorn in the side of XRP ever since the great dump in early June of 2020, when you flushed it as support and you finally broke it. Then you got resistance, consolidation, dump, right? See that consolidation dump right there? You can see the dump, clear as day dump. And then you fired back up there, but got resistance, because that's a major overhead resistance, is at that 37-cent level, right? And that's what we're watching out for this weekend as the futures market closes. Do we continue the uptrend? Do we go into a consolidation weekend, or do we go into a breakdown, right? So we're going to have to pay attention for that and have to follow it very closely, as we have lots of updates coming tomorrow. Yes, it is a football Saturday tomorrow, so we're going to be dual purposing the Bitcoin talk and posting in our college football channel to give all the latest highlights around the nation and the biggest college football game, starting with Texas and the Alabama Crimson Tide, right? But we don't have to work tomorrow, so we're going to have plenty of time to get updates on everything that has to do with crypto and everything that has to do with the college football season. Like, subscribe, and share it to my beautiful audience members. Peace and love. Peace and love.